What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we are finally back with another Hot Toys unboxing and review video. And today, guys, we are finally doing a Star Wars figure. It has been a long time since I've done one. Actually, this is my second Star Wars figure. The first time I did one was the Luke Skywalker DX, I think 25 from the Empire Strikes Back movie. Today, we're going to do the Grand Inquisitor from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This is the first of 4 figures that we're going to be doing for this specific series, and I am so excited about this because we're finally doing content for Star Wars. Again, I promise you guys, it was not intentional. I am a big Star Wars fan. Again, I have the name Order 66 collections, and I have the face of Vader on my profile image. So I promise you guys, I love Star Wars. It's just kind of been one of those things where kind of luck has played into it. But as I mentioned before, a lot of Star Wars figures are coming soon, so stay tuned for that on my YouTube channel. But again, today we finally get a Star Wars figure. We're doing the Grand Inquisitor. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, beginning with the box. So unfortunately, one of the things with Star Wars figures is that we're always going to get the same box, and that's kind of a mandate by Lucasfilms, if I'm not mistaken. So we get the figure in the middle with a black box. We do get this banner right here surrounding the box, which looks really good. I love the red coloring on the banner. On the right side, same thing, the black box, no detailing, just the banner surrounding it. That looks really good. At least it gives it some life. On the back, we just pretty much get warning and legal signs along with the name of the figure, and then on the left, same thing, the black box along with an image of the Inquisitor on that same banner that I mentioned before. So at least the banner gives this box some life, but unfortunately we are always going to get the same design. Pretty much at the top of the box and at the bottom, we're just going to get the Star Wars logo in different ways. By the way, the same Star Wars logo is in the middle, so unfortunately this is all that we get for the first box. Now, opening the box, this isn't really a second box. It's more like the second cover. We get pretty much this kind of wallpaper on top of the figure. Now this to me looks absolutely awesome. This is pretty much the Inquisitor, and in the background I believe it's the planet of Dayu, or Dayu if you pronounce it that way. Now to me, I think Hot Toys has pretty much gotten the hang of the fact that they're not able to do their own, like the main cover, right, because of Lucasfilm. So they're always gonna display like a banner or wallpaper on inside the box to kind of show what they would have done. Now getting the figure for the first time, honestly, we're off to a good start, but there is some things that are missing, or not missing, but some things that are off. I don't want to say it's a bad start. I do like how it looks, and I love the suit, and I do believe the head sculpt is nice, but there's some things that I am not too happy about, and we will discuss those a little bit later on in the video. But what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and discuss the accessories detail by detail, and then we'll go ahead and get to the figure. Okay, now with the accessories, guys, so pretty much this is all we get for the figure. It is not a deluxe figure, and honestly, I'm not disappointed at all with the accessories. With all due respect to all Star Wars fans, the Inquisitor isn't the biggest figure or character. Now, we start with the base, so we pretty much get a flat box with kind of a gray coloring on top of it. It's kind of more like a flooring. We get the same nameplate as we always do for other figures, and I'm not sure if this is also kind of like a Lucasfilm mandate that the nameplate has to be the same, but it is always the same for all of Star Wars figures. Now we do get a crotch grabber, as you guys were able to see previously on the figure, which is kind of wide, so I love that because it does give us options when it comes to posing the figure. Now we get 4 pieces of lightsabers, so we get these 2 straight lightsabers with no type of motion. Obviously the Inquisitor has a double-sided lightsaber, so obviously both sticks would go on each side of the lightsaber. They do look really nice, but of course the question will be, once we light them up, if the lights would be really bright. And then we get these 2 pieces which are pretty much in motion with the lightsaber. Again, I have no issues with the way they look. I think it's fine, but the question is going to be, once we go ahead and install the batteries or the LED or USB cable, will they look as bright as we want them to be. Now we get the lightsaber with the cable. This is the one that's going to go into the hands of the Inquisitor, and this is the one that will light up with the LED lights. Now we don't get batteries this time. We get a cable that we will install onto the figure. More on that a little bit later on. And then we get this lightsaber. Now this one has no cables. This one actually is supposed to go on the back side of the Inquisitor. Again, more of that a little bit later on the video. Both lightsabers look very detailed, and I like the fact that we get two, so that way we have options when it comes to posing the figure, whether we want to install the lightsaber onto the back, or if we want to go ahead and install it with the hand and the lights turned on. We do get this Vader hologram miniature. I love how it looks. It is very detailed, and shockingly guys, this is my favorite part of the figure. Now obviously it's Vader, so I'm a big fan, so obviously it's kind of a little bit of a nostalgia kicking in a little bit. But again, it's very detailed. It looks really a lot like Vader. It's very detailed. As you guys can see, you can see the hands posed on his belt. Very nicely done. I love the hologram for Vader. And then we do get 6 hands, or 3 pairs of hands. One thing that I really love about the hands, of course it's supposed to be gloves, so it's not really actual skin texture, but I love the feeling of these gloves. It's kind of like a rough type of patchy feeling on them, and it looks really good. It feels really good. These are the 2 hands that are installed onto the figure, so they're kind of like normal relaxed type of posing. But we do also get these 2 hands right here. So the first one would be pretty much him holding his lightsaber. The other one, he just has a closed fist. Again, as I mentioned before, the texture, the way that the gloves feel, it's really nice, and I really love how it feels so far, and cannot wait to go ahead and post it on the figure. But again, as I mentioned before, right, we're gonna get a chance to hold the lightsaber with one of them. The other one is just a closed fist. The next 2 hands would be, once again, the one on the right is to go ahead and post the lightsaber again, so we get 1 for each side. And then we get kind of this open palm type of hand on the left. This one I would assume is to hold the Vader hologram. So those are the hands that we would have for the figure. The only issue that I have with the piece of hands is that we really don't get a pair to kind of show him like using the force, so that's probably the only issue. But this would be it for the accessories. No complaints so far. We're off to a good start. Not a lot of things, but again, for the Inquisitor, I think it's fine for now. Okay guys, now getting to the Inquisitor. So looking at him more in detail, so I am a fan of how the suit looks, the costume or the outfit. It looks really good, no issues. But get into the face sculpt. Now he does look like the Inquisitor, and I'm not going to complain about the shape of the face, you know, because obviously in the animated series of the Rebels, obviously the way the face is, it's much better. So this would be more of a complaint against the creators of the series, not necessarily Hot Toys. I think Hot Toys did a good job with the face sculpt, but my issue is the facial expression. Now obviously the Inquisitor isn't a guy to show a lot of emotions, but man, the face just looks too dead. No emotion, nothing. I wish maybe a more of a serious look, maybe a frown on his eyes. There's no emotion whatsoever. And then this figure has no rolling eyeballs, so that is also a disadvantage. So again, the face sculpt does look like him, but unfortunately not too much as far as the facial expression. Now get into the articulations of the body. Now he does move nicely, but the thing is because of the armor, I don't want to move the figure too much, because again, some pieces might come off, so I'd rather avoid that. Just note that the figure is flexible, but again, because of the armor, it is a little bit hard. Now big issue already, also the boots. I'm not sure if this is pleather, if I'm not mistaken, and because of it, this could become damaged within time. So I do have an issue with that. So my best recommendation would just be to have the figure stand in a normal pose, because that material could get damaged, right? The cape itself, I love the cape. It looks really nice. The way that it feels good. It has no wiring, and I'm okay with that. The Inquisitor wasn't a character to be flying, you know, jumping, or in a lot of action, so I have no issues with that. But I do have an issue with his hood. The hood has no type of wiring, and as you guys can see, it is almost impossible to go ahead and pose the figure with the hood on, because again, it's just pretty much gonna go down or go up, so I think it's just better to kind of leave it back as it was throughout the series. I don't really remember the figure having the hood on, right? So that would pretty much just be it with the outfit. Again, not too many issues, but some things could have just been a little bit better for the figure itself. Now with the lightsaber, so pretty much one of the cool things that I do like about it is that it does come with this magnet on the back, and that is where the lightsaber with no cable would go on. As you guys can see, we can pretty much just install it there, and it does connect very well, so it's not going to fall too easily, and that is a look that I do like on him. Obviously up to you guys how you want to go ahead and pose the figure, but again, it's the fact that it's a magnet. I've always been a big fan of magnets. I feel like things connect better that way, so that would pretty much just be it for the figure. Again, the head sculpt could have been a lot better. I just believe the facial expression would have been just better. Now, one thing that I want to go ahead and address, guys, is connecting the USB cables onto the figure. So let me first start off with this cable that pretty much turns on his chest piece. So what we're going to do is we're pretty much going to go ahead and install it onto the back right there, as you guys can see. And that other part, let me go ahead and get this little box that the figure comes with. So I do have a USB cable connected to the wall. The good thing is that the cable is really long, so I'm able to go ahead and extend it all the way over here. But if we pretty much connect that cable and turn on the lights from that little box, as you guys can see, it does turn on. Now, unfortunately, the lighting won't be as good as it is in person because of my camera lighting. It isn't the best, but in person, I am able to see it. And I do like the lining on the chest armor. It does look really, really good, and it is bright red. Again, I know it kind of looks a little bit orange, but I promise you guys, it doesn't look that bad at all. Now, with the lightsaber, let me go ahead and do the same thing. Now, I won't include the figure here, just so that way you guys can get a better look of how the lightsaber looks. So obviously, let's go ahead and connect both lightsaber sticks onto the piece itself. And again, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, which is pretty much connect the cable onto that little box and turn it on. Let me see, and then let me go ahead and just turn off my camera light so that way we can see the lighting better. Now, as you guys can see, once again, the orange is there, but this, I will confess, it does not light up a lot, and that is a big issue, because when we see the images that Hot Toys poses for these specific lightsabers, they show them as bright and red as you can possibly imagine, but obviously that's not the case here. Yeah, a lot to be desired. It does not light up that much at all, so I would be in all honesty a big disappointment when it comes to the lightsaber, because it does not turn on at all. Again, I think they might have as well just keep the the batteries, because it doesn't really light up at all. So that is a big issue that I have with the lightsaber itself. Okay guys, so now a quick side-by-side comparison. So sadly, because of my lack of figures from Star Wars, we only get one side-by-side, and this is with my Vader from Sideshow Collectibles. This is the Vader from the Return of the Jedi movie, so not the greatest comparison, but obviously these are two characters that work together, so I guess might as well do a side-by-side. It's funny because doing this comparison, it shows me how tall Vader is, right? But if I can actually be honest, I love how the Inquisitor is put together. I will be honest on that. The armor and the way the body does look really, really good. So that is at least a plus for the Inquisitor. Now, thankfully, once we get more figures from Star Wars, and specifically this series, we will be able to do more fair comparisons. But at least we get these two guys, which... It's funny, we didn't really even get 30 seconds of them together, right? But obviously they work hand in hand, so this would pretty much just be the only comparison that I have at the moment. Okay guys, so now to end the video, a couple of quick poses. I will be completely honest, I do want to apologize about this. I didn't really try my best to pose the figure in much of a fighting motion. As I mentioned before, because of the armor and the way that it is connected onto the figure, I don't want to bend the figure that much and have the armor fall off. So I rather just kind of pose him in kind of in a standing way. Either way, I feel like the figure has good posture. The body is great. The armor's great. The way the clothing is on the figure, I do love how it looks. So I don't really have too many issues on that. But of course, the issues that I mentioned before is the lightsaber. As you guys can see here, I don't even have it turned on because I think it's just better to have it this way and not show the cable at all. To me, one of the biggest disappointments from the figure was the lightsabers and it's the fact that it doesn't turn on at all. And that's something that they really have to work on, because these figures, I feel like the lightsaber is what gives these figures life. And the fact that it doesn't even turn on that much, it's a big disappointment, right? So that is one of the things that I had an issue with. And also the head sculpt, again, he does look like the Inquisitor, and I do love the skin texture, but it's the fact that it doesn't have the moving eyes and the facial expression. It's too serious. Now again, I will confess, the Inquisitor isn't a character that has many emotions. The expression does match, but maybe if the eyebrows or his eyes would have been kind of shaped differently, maybe it would have given the character more of a mean villain look instead of just kind of like a lifeless type of expression. But that would pretty much just be it for my thoughts about him. Again, still happy to have him, happy to finally have a Star Wars figure on the collection, so cannot wait to go ahead and get more figures. Now before I do end the video, obviously for those of you guys who follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I post that I had 5 upcoming unboxings, and I am so thrilled to know that 3 of those are from Star Wars. Obviously this is the first one. The next video will be Reva, the third sister, and we do also have Padme from Attack of the Clones. As always, guys, want to remind you that I am again on Instagram and TikTok. That is where I post daily updates about my channel. The links to that are on the description of the video if you want to go ahead and check me out. Also, want to thank you as always for the continued support. It means the world to me every time, for all the support that I get on a daily basis from you guys. Again, if it is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notifications bell so that way you're always up to date on the videos that I post on a daily basis. One thing that I will openly confess, this figure, I actually did not get it from Sideshow. I got it from Pop Collectibles. I'm gonna go ahead and include the link to Pop Collectibles in case you guys want to go ahead and grab yourselves an Inquisitor. I actually had no initial intentions of purchasing this guy, but again, I do want to get more Star Wars figures. I want to complete certain collections for specific series or movies, so I feel like I had to grab this guy, and of course along with Reva and Vader, who is coming very soon, and of course Kenobi once he is released. So for now, guys, this is going to be it for this video. I want to thank you and thank each and one of you and every one of you for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.